The price of Bitcoin is currently trading sideways in this range that it is a very high price. Now, currently $24,535, and I say a very high price. It's a very high price compared to where it's been recently, but actually it looks quite bullish right now. I'm going to explain more about that in today's video, and of course, I'm going to explain about what is going on with the CME Gap, because currently, when it comes to Bitcoin, the CME Gap, if we go over to the Chicago Mercantile Exchange, is currently set at $24,535. That is literally where Bitcoin's price currently is, $24,535. So right bang on the CME Gap at the time of today's filming of the video. However, it's also important to point out that the CME Gap is not going to close tonight. The reason it's not going to close is because it's US President's Day tomorrow. I didn't realize this until earlier today, but essentially that means that the CME Gap will now close on Monday night, not Sunday night, which is quite interesting. And so tomorrow is going to get some volatility. And of course, how am I trading this right now? I'm going to explain that in today's video. I'm going to explain what altcoin positions I'm in and why I'm in those positions as well. And if you want to know more about all of these wonderful things, do drop a like on today's video. We're trying to get to 1,000 likes on every single video, so please do drop a like. Again, we failed yesterday, but we got pretty close to 1,000. I think it was like 900 likes or something. So if you wouldn't mind, drop a like, subscribe to the channel, and let's crack straight on by looking at my current open trades, and then we're going to analyze the price of Bitcoin. So currently, in terms of my current open trades, this is what I've got open right now. So I've got currently now a $1.8 million long position on the price of Bitcoin. That trade is currently $33,700 in profit, and I've already taken $12,000 worth of profit out of that trade. I've also got a trade open here on Bitconomi. That's only a $24,000 trade, but it has pumped up in the past 24-hour period, resulting in a now $5,000 profit. Another trade that I've got open, which seems to be stagnating a little bit, is my Elrond trade here. Currently $100,000 long position, resulting in a $4,500 profit. Now, if you're not already familiar, essentially Elrond is going to probably go through a significant growth phase fairly soon. That's why I've got that position open, because they've recently partnered with Tencent, and Tencent is one of the world's largest companies. So that's pretty good going. Again, if you're going to start to see Tencent projects launching on top of Elrond, then you're going to see some significant network adoption. Other trades that I've got open right now are the Ethereum Classic trade, currently minus $1,400. The Ethereum trade here, currently plus $31,000. The Phantom trade, currently sat minus $3,800. And the Holochain trade, currently $2,000 in a profit. And now we got on to the smaller kind of stuff that I've got open, like IOST, Chainlink, Lux, Spell, and Waves. Now, Waves actually had a pretty big pump up today. In fact, if we look at the chart for Waves, I don't know what caused this, but essentially earlier today, Waves started going up in a straight line, and I think it might do the same again tomorrow. So I'm going to leave this trade open because I actually think, to be honest, looking at the weekly chart for Waves right now, it's right down at the very bottom. And if we do start breaking through these levels of resistance, essentially the price can go up quite significantly. There is not going to be a whole lot of resistance in the chart. So if you do start seeing bullish price momentum on the price of Waves, I mean, that trade's going to start sitting fairly pretty. But in terms of the other trades that I've got open right now, let's have a look at some of those. So we've got Zilliqa, this Zilliqa trade. I think Zilliqa's going to do pretty well over the course of the next couple of months, so I'm going to leave that one open. The YGG trade, I only bought it because the price seemed pretty low. When you look at the actual chart on YGG, if we actually look at the chart on YGG, you'll see here that again, it's a similar situation to Waves, whereby significant dumpage, where the price has been $9, currently sat at 35 cents. I just figured, look, it's probably time to go long on this, to be honest. And although the trade currently sits in a loss, it wouldn't surprise me to see this in a profit in the coming days, as the price does look like it has somewhat formed a bottom. So other things to look at in terms of my current open trades, one would be Spell. Spell, again, I think it's one of them coins that'll get to 1 cent during the course of a bull run. Same weekly story chart as anything else, where the price in the past has been up at 2.5 cents. Currently sat, I don't even know what to describe that as, but it's certainly not 2.5 cents. It's about, maybe, I don't even know how many times lower than 2.5 cents. It's really small anyway compared to where it's been in the past. So if Spell is going to have any kind of pump up, I want to be catching it essentially, and that's why I'm currently long on Spell as well. Now, of course, I'm long on a bunch of different altcoins right now. That's because I'm hedging the altcoin market, expecting that altcoins grow and Bitcoin stagnates over the next couple of days because, of course, the CME Gap. At the same time, that CME Gap will close on Monday night, hence why the price of Bitcoin on Monday night will likely be at $24,500. So, given all of that information, what are we expecting in the next 24-hour period from the price of Bitcoin? Well, Bitcoin is currently meandering around in this range right here. And, of course, we've got these lower levels of support down here at $24,000, and we've got the resistance at $25,000. Between those two levels, there is not really so much that we can read into it, but essentially We are technically forming a little bit of an inverse head and shoulders right now, but what we don't really want to see is what we saw earlier today when the price of Bitcoin started pumping to the upside and tried to break through $25,000 and then it got rejected. That's it doesn't mean anything right now. Look, if Bitcoin's breaking through $25,000 and the CME gap is still open, not much is going to happen to the price of Bitcoin. Hence why I didn't tweet out earlier that I was all happy about the pump. I knew it would come straight back down, wait for the buy opportunity, and I bought right down at the bottom here, increasing the size of my Bitcoin long position from $600,000 up to $1.8 million. Now, one of the key reasons why I've done that again is not because I expect Bitcoin's price is going to go down. That wouldn't be a particularly good idea if it was going to go down, because it's going to cost me a lot of money in a very short period of time. So, of course, I'm going to be keeping a close eye on that trade as well, because if Bitcoin starts looking a little bit flaky, I want to drop that trade as soon as possible, given how large it is. And currently, my entry sits somewhere around $24,000. Again, I initially opened that trade around $21,000, and it's been one of the ones where I've been scaling up quite significantly. And I waited for the drop down today. We got the drop down, and I went long. Now, it also wouldn't surprise me to see Bitcoin's price tomorrow pumping back to the upside, back up towards where this key level of liquidity sits up here at approximately $24,707. I actually just think Bitcoin will just continue meandering around in this range. And the key level that we need to be watching right now for a breakout will be a break above this level of resistance, because ultimately Bitcoin is just kind of stuck in this range right here, whereby we've been abiding by this level of resistance until we broke above it earlier, but it was only a very short-term break. And essentially right now, the market does look pretty good. Like, genuinely, things are looking up. And the break up to $28,000, honestly, we're on the cusp of that big breakout. And let me explain why we're on the cusp of that big breakout. Because if we go over to the daily chart right now on the price of Bitcoin and zoom out just a little bit to give you a little bit of perspective on what's happening on the market, you can see here still this massive gap in liquidity in this range. So we can see for certain, look, as soon as Bitcoin breaks through that $25,000 level, after the CME exchange is reopened, we can expect to pump all the way up to $28,000 to $29,000. There is a CME gap currently sitting at this level here that seems to be acting like a little bit of a magnet for the price of Bitcoin, and so that's what I'm expecting to happen. Now, there is another thing that I want to point out to you, and that is on the price of Ethereum, or rather Ethereum's Bitcoin valuation. Now, currently, you'll see Ethereum's Bitcoin valuation is down here. I'm expecting this to W reversal all the way back to the upside, because essentially we've got a key control line here, and I expect to revisit that control line. I'm also expecting Bitcoin dominance to drop. So if I find my Bitcoin dominance, in fact, I'm not even going to bother finding it. There we go, Bitcoin dominance. It's already starting to drop a little bit. Now, what we're likely to see is a pump in the altcoin market, stagnation of Bitcoin tomorrow, where either price doesn't move a whole lot, and at the same time, we'd expect altcoins' Bitcoin values to start increasing. Now, also another thing to point out would be on the price of XTP and the price of Dafi. I'm expecting both of those prices to increase this week. First of all, being that, look at XTP today, currently sat now at 49 sats. However, $1.879 million of trading volume today. So there is some significant interest currently in XTP, and that's why it's been traded so heavily. The price went up earlier when I bought a bunch of it, and then immediately after that, somebody sold into the price. And then after that, there was some significant buying volume that came in, and it kind of ended where it started. So if you actually look at the XTP chart right now, if I bring that up on the screen, you'll see that XTP has had a little bit of a mad day, but overall, I finished where it started. So there we go. So you can see here, essentially, we're pretty much at those levels where we were before. We had that big rally up. I was kind of responsible for that. But currently, XTP's price seems to be consolidating at these levels here. And looking at the 4-hour chart right now on the price of XTP, zooming out, it's looking like we probably will bounce in the not too distant future, or at least if the chart would load, I'd be able to show you that we'd probably bounce in the not too distant future. It's also important to point out that sell resistance right now is very insignificant. It appears today that a whale exited the market, and currently only 7 Bitcoin, so about $120,000, $140,000 of buying pressure, takes the price back up to 60 Satoshis, whereas currently there is a huge buy order here of 13 million, and everything is in the millions stacked like crazy here on the buy side on XTP. Hence why I'm expecting XTP's price to increase. At the same time, we also need to look at the price of Dafi. Now, Dafi has been going down just a tiny, in fact, it's not been going down today. Let's just refresh this page to get a complete market perspective on what is going on with Dafi. It'll load in just a second. Come on, load. Why is it taking so long to load? This should not take so long to load. That's quite frustrating. I don't know why it's taking so long to load. Either way, in fact, I've got a Dafi chart open here. There you go. currently sat at 2.8 cents per coin. Dafi's price will no doubt increase over the course of the next week. We all know at this point, because Dafi put out the announcement at 6 p.m. on Wednesday, Dafi is going to make an announcement. Now, that announcement is a very bullish announcement and hopefully will impact the price of the coin to the upside. When that happens, my target for Dafi is between 4 and 5 cents per coin, currently sitting about 100% below those levels. Basically, I expect the price to go double what it is currently, because when you look at the price of Dafi right now and you zoom out on the hourly chart, you can see essentially we've broken above that level of resistance, and now we're starting to look just more and more healthy. You can see here we should in theory come up and test this level of resistance here as we bull flag outwards, and when we break the top of that bull flag, that's when I'm expecting a significant break to the upside on the price of Dafi. So currently, of course, bullish on Dafi, bullish on XDP, and bullish on the entire cryptocurrency market, especially altcoins right now. Bitcoin doesn't look like it'll move significantly in the next 24-hour period, but in the next 48-hour period, it's going to get very, very volatile. So make sure you have slapped like on this video so I show up in your video algorithm. But at the same time, subscribe to the channel, turn on channel notifications, and thank you very much for watching today's video. If you wouldn't mind as well, check out links and information in today's video description. If you are interested in trading, you'll find a trading tutorial down there that tells you all sorts of stuff about trading and that kind of thing. So check that out. Have a great day, everyone, and I'll see you on a live stream in just a few moments' time. Goodbye.